Previously, we had to go to the main program and change the first action to call a particular subprogram, and then a particular subprogram and tab number. Well, now the main program has been changed so that we can pick any one of the 9 subprograms and up to any one of 15 of its tab numbers. Well, we remember subprogram 1, tab 0, was this routine we made. And we also went to a program called routines that would let us copy other routines and put them in our program. And number 1 here, 2, 3, and 4 all came from that application called routines. And then we went to the application called trail and copied another one. Remember that one? So a subprogram has these 5 that we had made before. And if you go to a tab number that doesn't exist, I'll go to 14, it says no tab number because it couldn't find it. Now you say, well, why does it say that now? It didn't do that before. Well, we'll put this back there. We'll go to the program. This is subprogram 1. There have been some lines added to the beginning of it. Before it just went home, so that if you went there and said that call to 1, and this is subprogram 1, it just saw home and then left. Went back to the main program. But now it executes these lines here, particularly this one, which says it's going to show the text at page A, offset 18. So we'll click at this offset. There is offset 18 marked with a yellow box. And it says no tab number. So that's what we saw it saying. Now we're not going to replace this line because we don't want it to change, so we're going to go just to quit. So now we know that it's going to say no tab number if we don't give a tab number or we give a tab number that doesn't exist. Over here we see that all 9 subprograms have been created. And up here where you go to create a new subprogram, you can't do it anymore because there are 9 of them. So let's see what's in these other subprograms now. We'll go to subprogram 2. At the beginning of it, we see that same routine that says if you enter here with a command just to go to subprogram 2, it's just going to go home again after printing a message. Or if you try and run a tab that doesn't exist, it will also just go back home again to the main program. But it does have tabs. Here's tab 0, and tab 0 has a comment saying skip branch if equal various branches, and we'll find the reason for that comment is because it has a skip instruction and it has all those branch instructions. So it demonstrates the skip action and all these branch actions, which by the way happen to be the numeric branches. Branch if equal, not equal, less than or equal, greater than or equal. Those are the basic branch instructions for numeric tests. Now we see there's a period in front of there. So it has a comment that's been marked to be put under routines. So if we go down here and click on routines, we see a whole lot of comments for routines in subprograms 2 through subprogram 9. And all of them refer to actions that are demonstrated within those particular tabs. Alright, so let's exit there. We now see that what tab 0 in subprogram 2 is, so let's go execute it. All we have to do now is change it to subprogram 2. Ah, there we see those tests. This is what that subroutine was doing. Well, let's go see subprogram 2, tab 1. Ah, those are branches on text, and they show that's why they're BT. Well, we go to number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up. Doesn't have a 7th one. Tells us no tab numbers. Well, let's go back to 0, and we'll go to number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Up. No 11th, goes up to 10. And so forth through all of these subprograms. There are many tabs that demonstrate actions. Now let's go back to subprogram 1, tab 0, and there's the routine that we had created. So now we know we can go to routines and look to see actions being demonstrated. But there's always another way we can look to see what actions do, and that's for clicking on Info here when you're on the program screen, or if you go to see the program itself. Now wait, I have to leave there. Down here at the bottom center is also an Info. Click on that while you're writing the program. And this is the glossary. Here are a lot of terms that are used. And over here are all of the actions. So it here will also explain how an action works. For instance, if we pick one of these actions, the first one's absolute value, it'll show you absolute value. And here is what the different parts of it can look like. Address 1 can be a register, a varb, a list, or a list with offset and register offset. And A2 can also be a register, a varb, a list, or list with an offset and a register offset. Down here explains about absolute value. You can then, if you want to look at another thing in the glossary, just go back to index, and you could ask it about, well, what's a dots option? And you click on that, and wow, there it shows you all the different options you have for making patterns. Making patterns with special colors, various shapes, and so forth. So you can hit index again and go to any one of these other places. Like here it says pattern of a circle. Alright, shows arcs, shows a circle, tells you how to create them. So there you have the option of looking at all the actions and all these different glossary terms. When you're finished, then you hit the X. So here when you're programming, you can go to the glossary by clicking Info here. And if you're executing the program and want to see it, you can click here. Okay, this will be the end of this lesson.